Cat Zero. It was the only vending machine around, tucked away in a dark corner of the world. Its strong glow and low hum, enough to cut through this quiet winter night. Surely, there was something here that could keep the boy warm. And sure enough, lining the top shelf were cans of heated beverages. He inserted his coin. No need for anything fancy, just a hot milk coffee would do. As he heard the can tumble to the bottom, he reached it to the slot to retrieve it, and upon pulling open the tab,
"Your eyes are two different colors."
The voice came from atop the machine. It was too dark to tell, but lucky for the boy, he had quite an easy hint. A small pair of luminous eyes seemingly suspended in midair. One shone bright green, the other blue. They were those of a cat. And were those words he spoke? That was no meow the boy heard, but a clear sentence, and quite a hypocritical one at that. The boy voiced his concern, albeit with a casual smirk. The cat replied with a blink and a gasp.
Did you just understand me?
Ah, right. Perhaps the boy was a bit too casual. Even if he himself wasn't surprised, his response would be considered strange to anyone else. Looking at the cat, he noticed what seemed like a piece of gold dangling well below his eyes. A tag? Hanging from a red strip of fabric. A collar. On it, he could make out two simple characters. Neko, is it? The cat, Neko, took a quick glance down at his collar and nodded. Interesting, the boy thought. He personally found the name charming, but would others not think it's like naming a dog?
Yeah,
Neko replied, tired. Seemed this wasn't the first time he's heard this.
the professor never explained why she chose the name. At this point, I doubt even she knows why.
The professor?
Sorry, Professor Hakase, my owner. I think you'd like her. She's really nice. And incredibly smart. She's made a bunch of cool gadgets and stuff, like,
Like your collar.
Eh?
Your collar. Is that not what allows you to speak? Neko quietly looked down, his eyes screaming bewilderment. The boy himself was also astonished. Had he figured out the trick before Neko? Did the professor not explain? Neko shook his head.
She just put the collar on me and passed down her chair. And this was just before sunset.
Worked overtime on it, the boy reckoned.
Yeah, she's been at her desk since early this morning. Not that it's unusual, mind you. After her faith, her biggest focus is work. Give her a new idea, which could happen at the drop of a hat.
And she'll space out on it the rest of the day? Neko let out a snicker befitting for a cat.
She once told me about how she saw a turtle swimming in a river one morning as a kid, and the ripples that left had her scribbling in her notebook until past her bedtime.
Wow. As much as the boy chuckled, he wondered, did the professor not get out and socialize much? Neko had to contemplate his answer.
Not really, no. Anytime she leaves the house, it's to pick up groceries or supplies for a project. Anytime she meets up with someone, it's usually for business. The most casual conversations she'll have with another human is when she orders a cup of coffee at her usual coffee stand. And I only know that because she tells me, her cat.
An absent-minded professor, starving herself of social interaction in order of scientific pursuits. Sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi dramedy.
I've wanted to help her get out more, but I never really had the means to do so until now. Yeah, she's an adult, but, younger. And I guess I just don't want her to be too alone. More human friends, not just cats. Right now, all she has besides me is...
A snowflake gently falls between Neko and the boy. A second lands on Neko's head. A third. Fourth. Fifth. The two of them look up. All around them, the sky is filled with white crystals, each one racing to the ground to see if they could stick. Neko quietly observed, awestruck of the beauty around him. The boy stood beside him, realizing he was out of time. He reached up to Neko, petting the soft black fur on his head. It was a shame he couldn't meet the professor. She sounded amazing. Now if he could ask one last question. Neko glanced at the boy with curiosity in his eyes.
Sure. What is it?
The boy smiled. If Neko answered his question accordingly, then they could move on to the next phase of the plan. This has been a production by SS Reed. Lapcat Zero is written by SS Reed. Neko and the narrator are voiced by SS Reed. Original music composed by Daystar and used with permission. Sound effects provided by SoundBible and ZapSplat. All rights reserved. If you enjoyed the show, consider checking out our website at lab-cat.weebly.com, as well as our Twitter at LabCatOfficial. And if you'd like to ask a question or contribute your talents to the show, send us a message at labcatofficial@gmail.com. Thank you for listening. Hebrews 13:2.